Vince Gill owns an eye-popping trophy case with 22 Grammy Awards and 18 Country Music Association wins. Yet at 67, he just dropped a confession that his fans cheering, gasping, and firing off theories online. Some swear it proves why he is the class act of country, while others claim they will never hear his songs the same way again. Vincent Grant Gil looked destined for strings from the moment a 4-string tenor guitar landed in his small hands, and the universe seemed to grin as it stamped his future right then. Before long, he graduated to a full-size 6-string, strumming with a confidence well beyond his years, as if the frets spoke a secret language only he could hear. His parents recognized lightning in a bottle. They skipped the cheap toys and at age 10 surprised him with a Gibson ES 335, an electric beauty that would make most grown musicians drool. That single act lit the fuse on a journey that would rocket their Oklahoma boy onto the world stage. Nobody in that quiet neighborhood could have guessed this shy kid would one day fill the impossible role of rhythm ace for one of rock's most legendary bands. Fate delivers its biggest twist when nobody is looking, and for Vince the whiplash arrived after Glenn Frey passed in 2016. Rumor mills buzz that Vince had been hiding a gigantic truth for decades, and insiders whisper it would break hearts the moment he spoke. Now at 67, he has finally confirmed every whisper, leaving some supporters in joyful tears, while others feel blindsided. When Glenn Frey died, the Eagles appeared grounded for good. He was a co-founder, a lead voice, a songwriting engine, and Don Henley openly admitted the future felt blurry. Yet destiny was already sliding puzzle pieces into place behind closed doors. Band manager Irvin Azoff phoned Larry Fitzgerald, who manages Vince, and suddenly the wheels spun fast. Few people realized Vince had shared management with Glenn after the Eagles' first breakup, a quiet link that felt almost cosmic when viewed in hindsight. The invitation shocked Vince more than anyone. He later admitted he never daydreamed about being an Eagle because the thought seemed absurd. When the call came, he never hesitated, flashing that easy grin and asking, "When do we leave?" There was no coy act, no second guess, only pure thrill. Joining the Eagles is not a casual jam. These songs define generations, and Vince treated them like fragile heirlooms. He selected classics such as Lion Eyes, New Kid in Town, Take It to the Limit, Tequila Sunrise, promising to play every lick note for note. No showboating, no ego trips, only respect. Chemistry mattered as much as chops. Vince and Don Henley already shared studio time on Henley's Cass County album, forging trust long before anyone whispered, "Eagles reunion." When skeptics asked why a country crooner was invited, Henley fired back, "Because he knows how to be in a band." That line made Vince prouder than any chart statistic. His debut with the Eagles at Dodger Stadium in 2017 dripped with emotion. Standing beside him was Glenn's son Deacon, bravely filling his father's place, and the night crackled with grief and hope all at once. Vince felt the weight but never stole the spotlight, reminding reporters the music came first, and his job was to keep it soaring. The journey rolled on, and Vince remains on the farewell tour that is set to wrap in 2025, still belting Take It to the Limit to packed arenas. One decade you are a kid mastering cowboy chords. The next you're leading thousands in a timeless chorus. Music writes the wildest scripts. For years, Vince let guitar bend speak louder than interviews, but he finally faced a chatter that trailed him. At 67, he verified what many suspected about the private deals that led him into rock royalty, and the country world is in uproar. Some listeners call it proof of integrity. Others label a heartbreaking admission, yet nobody can ignore it. Another rumor long circled Vince, his picture-perfect romance with Amy Grant. Their story feels scripted by Hollywood, but every dazzling detail actually happened. It began in 1993 during filming of Christmas with Vince Gill in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a festive gig that set their fates colliding. Amy was already a superstar, and Vince remembered her entrance like a scene out of a romantic classic. She walked in looking stressed, brow furrowed, and Vince leaned over with that gentle charm, saying, "Hey, unknit that brow. It's going to be okay." A simple line, yet sparks flew instantly. Music glued their bond. They shared 3 holiday stages that winter. Then Amy phoned Vince to sing their first duet, House of Love, and the studio lights practically hummed with chemistry. Still, both artists were married. Vince to country singer Janice Oliver, Amy to Christian performer Gary Chapman. So neither chased a spark, though everyone around them sensed it. Amy later confessed the energy was palpable to all of us. Yet they held their vows, navigating 6 long years of polite distance while feelings simmered beneath collaborations. Vince's marriage collapsed in 1997, shocking Amy, who never expected it so soon. 2 years later, Amy's marriage ended after 17 stormy years, freeing her heart and removing the final barrier. It was brutally hard for her, but the path to Vince finally cleared, and every song they had shared suddenly took on deeper meaning. Those intertwined timelines once fueled tabloid gossip, yet Vince kept silent until now. He revealed that the pair never crossed lines during their marriages, that every rumor of secret rendezvous was false, and that Patience was their hardest song to sing. Fans have responded with a storm of relief and disbelief. Longtime supporters applaud the honesty, while skeptics insist the story still feels too neat. Industry insiders predict the confession will reshape both artists' legacies, proving that integrity can survive the fiercest rumor mill. Throughout the saga, Vince stayed humble. He reminds interviewers that awards gather dust, but relationships and melodies last forever. He did not chase headlines, they chased him, and he finally chose to answer. As the Eagles tour winds toward its last encore, his love story with Amy celebrates joyful decades, Vince Gill stands as living proof that music, fate, and truth can weave the most astonishing ballad. Whether you feel shocked, vindicated, or newly inspired, one thing is certain. Vince's final chord is not yet rung out, and the world will keep listening for whatever revelation comes next. Vince and Amy waited only 4 short months after her divorce to make their love official. Then in March 2000, they exchanged vows under open skies near Nashville with barely 100 guests cheering them on. Their kids stood close, friends circled tight, and the whole day felt effortless because they never forced a romance. They simply let it bloom when the universe said, "Go." That journey, from a Christmas duet in 1993 to a lifetime partnership, feels downright magical. It proves the greatest gifts often show up when you least expect them. And when timing clicks, everything locks into place like a perfect chord progression. Even legends attract rumors, and Vince has heard whispers for decades. Now at 67, he is clearing the air, confirming secrets fans debated for years. And the reaction is a tidal wave. Some cheer, some gasp, and many sprint for answers. Their bond has survived towering highs and brutal lows, and nothing tested it harder than back-to-back health crises. The first shock landed in 2020, and life did not toss a pebble. It threw a boulder straight at them. During a routine checkup, Vince's doctor casually suggested Amy get scanned too, and that simple nudge upended everything. Tests revealed a rare congenital heart defect called PPVR, found in barely 1 out of 143 people, and Amy had carried it unknowingly her whole life. The danger was staggering. Her doctor warned that untreated, the defect could turn catastrophic. Amy stayed calm, yet Vince felt his world tilt. In June 2020, deep in a global lockdown, she faced open-heart surgery, a massive operation when hospitals were the last place anyone wished to visit. Pandemic rules often kept Vince away from her bedside, and he described the hours at home as the longest wait of his life. When permission finally came, tour dates were already wiped clean, so he planted himself at Amy's side and never budged. Just as they thought brighter days had arrived, July 2022 delivered another ambush. Amy hit a hidden pothole during a casual bike ride and crashed hard, suffering a serious brain injury even though she wore a helmet. Vince axed 3 concerts without a second thought and raced to the emergency room. Doctors predicted a year or more for full healing. Memory fog, tangled conversations, daily frustration. Later came throat surgery to remove a cyst, then shoulder surgery. One hurdle after another. Through every sleepless night, Vince whispered the same promise. "We're here and I love you," and Amy later said those words were her lifeline. While tabloids spun tales, Vince prepared a truth bomb of his own. At 67, he is speaking plainly, and the music community is buzzing louder than a stadium crowd. Some applaud, some feel vindicated, and plenty scratch their heads wanting more. Vince has racked up 22 Grammys, earned a spot in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and claimed permanent membership at the Grand Ole Opry. Yet he refuses to coast. He insists the songs spilling out of him now carry more heart than any radio smash from his youth. He no longer chases trends or formulas. Instead, he watches life, captures feelings, and lets listeners decide what they mean. He warns young writers that pushing lyrics without a real idea is like spinning tires in mud. If you try to write without a good idea, you'll just be spinning your wheels. Collaboration still fuels him. But he chooses partners for freshness, not fame. Rock vibes with the Eagles, pop power with Kelly Clarkson, pure country with bright newcomers. Vince jumps styles without caring who grabs the credit. His sound keeps stretching. Classic steel riffs ride beside bold new textures, and he welcomes change instead of fearing it. Anchored by the Opry, he remains grounded while evolving daily. Proof that growth never stops if passion keeps burning. At the core, he is still the Oklahoma kid who fell in love with 6 strings all those years ago. Awards gather dust, but honesty shines forever, and that is why Vince Gill endures. If you love this wild ride, smash that like button, drop a comment, and hit subscribe for more unbelievable music tales. The next jaw-dropping story is only one click away.